Добрый день, уважаемые коллеги.
Good afternoon, colleagues. First of all, I would like to welcome participants of this wonderful conference and thank the organizers for allowing me to speak in front of you and tell you about my small project, which allows us to observe the traffic exchange points in Russia. Before I continue, I want to make a remark and saying that it so happened historically that talking about the traffic exchange points in Russia, we always understand that there is a Minsk IX, and less often I mentioned others, but in Russia that there are about 25 such traffic exchange points, except I am taking part in the development of the process, this IX in Krasnodar. I'm really excited to see how my colleagues develop. First of all, when we look at the IXP, we need to see the graph of the traffic. The graph is very important here because it shows the amount of traffic. At the IXP, let's see what could interest you. The website usually publishes information on the number of the participants, but I'm not sure this data will be informative. If we take private peering, when there's a direct exchange of traffic in a separate VLAN, it's not possible to observe because the volume of the peering depends on the exchange point. There's also a case when the VLAN is the most important, the public peering. Here, it's all defined by the neighbors and the prefixes and the ASs. We consider the direct BGP sessions. It's possible to track them through Looking Glass, trace routes, but it's difficult and time-consuming. Also, the IXs use a route server. Traffic there is directed, is sent directly. It could be followed, monitored by the Looking Glass. And we also there's another big layer of direct BGP sessions, but the route service is quite widespread and actively used, and it's one of the active mechanisms alongside the traffic graph that allows a person, a layman, to evaluate the IXPs. For the layman, by layman I mean him myself. At some point I got tired of exploring IXPs, and I started working with the Looking Glass. But Looking Glass only shows the state of the IXP at a certain time. That's why I decided to develop a tool that would once in 5 minutes take data from the Looking Glass and give access to the Looking Glass through the web service. It's available at iu.map/ix.net. It allows to monitor road service from different parts of the world. You could see, you cannot see every route on the route server, and the functionality is limited. It's more like an analog of a BGP summary. So you don't go as detailed as every route. But at the same time, I'm unlimited the history log for 180 days. Now this server accumulates information from the looking glass of 27 different parts of the world. Let's see what kind of data can be presented using this service. At this website, you can see general information about number of autonomous systems present at the Russian IXPs. As of 2nd October 2017, there were more than 900 of those. Majority of them are part of the MSK-IX, 480. And the majority there is placed in Moscow, and I would pay attention to others. And this category doesn't include data from other big platforms, but still has 380 unique systems. Next slide shows how much the autonomous system of the MSK-IX compared to MSK-IX regions. MSK-IX in Petersburg, SPB-IX, out of 88 unique ACEs can be found. Half of them can be found in the Moscow. If we compare Moscow IXs to other IXs, you can see it on the slide. There's a special category called Other IXs. Out of the 380 unique ACEs, 75 are in Moscow. You cannot, to see others, you will have to be present at other platforms or find some other instruments for consistency. Now let's look at IX are included in the other IXs category. You can see here the information on Asian part of Russia IXs. Here are the IXs in the European part of Russia. An example, I gave information about the autonomous systems in Krasnodar and in Moscow. Another slide is not so obvious. He shows the routes between the Russian IXPs. This situation, when part of the routes or all routes from one exchange point referred to another IXPs happen very often. This is information as of July 17th, but you can always check the current status. Let's see what you can find in the Russian IXPs. Among them there are big content providers. Number one in IXPs is the biggest online cinema, is ivi.ru. As of October, it was present at the 19 IXs. There's also Yandex present in 15 IXs, Google and other services. On the slide you can see part of the content providers which use the Russian IXPs to transform and get the traffic to the end users. On the sidelines we left Megago, Aquamaya and Fioro. Clearly, obviously, apart from IXPs, the network operators like Selectel, they use IXPs We heard an interesting story about them yesterday. As of yesterday's morning, apart from Data IX,
and talking about telecom operators, there is such a vision that large operators do not peer IX. I took the top largest operators in Russia, and position number 1 is held by Rostelecom, about 12 million users, and Vertelecom, the second position, over 3 million users. As you see, Rostelecom, with their autonomous system, is available in 7 different IXPs, and Rostelecom announced their path in 15 IXPs. And here you need to understand that in the internet, every network which participates in the traffic exchange and traffic exchange not at IXPs, every operator has its own interests. And at different servers of different IXPs, they can implement it through the managing BGP community, engaging managing BGP community. Even all those participants, without announcing their data on the servers, so their policy, peering policy, may not be transparent and open, we shall take this into account. And this slide shows the impact of such large network as Rostelecom on MSKX IX. The incident took place on the 3rd of June this year. You see at 17:30:35 the BGP network with the autonomous systems failed, and there was a drop in traffic by 143 gigabit, but there was a GDP session at the same time with the autonomous system, and some impact on this traffic graph should be accounted to this. Since we're talking about more or less large operators, the next one is Telecom. An incident, an outage took place in January 2017 at Sibir IX Krasnoyarsky. There was BGP session with this system. And accordingly, how this outage looked like with Telecom in Sibir IX from the perspective of this path, it is indicated on this slide. And the last practical slide from my side is here I give the information about the operators and to which extent they engage IXPs. It includes large operators, including regional ones from Yekaterinburg, Norilsk, Samara, and others. But I must only add that the operator which is available at 5 root servers of IXPs. So actually we have a larger list, but I was very short of space, therefore I didn't indicate all of them. Of course, I could speak more, but I'm pressed with time. But before I finish, I would like to say gratitude to 2 companies, Kuban Telecom. They provided the equipment, data center Krasnoyarsk, and the other one that also supported us. That is all I wanted to share with you. If you have any questions, we'll be pleased to take them.